the 60s to the 90s. So I don't think we're going to have enough time to get all of them. So I've just picked a few. We're going to start off with the 60s. This one was a big one back in the day. This one is called... I was surprised at some of the things on this list because really... some of them are actually fairly big songs, but I guess they're one hits at a time. Like this one here, Louie Louie is the one we got going for you today. We'll start things off. Here we go. From the UK, and she wanted to hear this one here, Tequila by the Champs. Tequila from the Champs. Just one of the many songs that were on the in the 60s there. I was surprised at this next one because this one has been a favorite of mine for a long time. I was born in 63, so it might have been hot probably in the 70s, but this one here is by Commander Cody and his Lost Airmen. But it was let's hear the song, shall we, because it's one of my favorites for sure.
My pappy said, son, you're gonna drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln.
Lincoln by Commander Cody. Johnny Bond was the one who did that in the 60s, and I've always liked this version. Now, in the 60s, of course, was a big deal to do with the trucking industry. That was when all the old truckers were on the trucking songs. So, of course, this guy, Mr. Dave Dudley, had 6 days on the road, and that's probably still to this day. I don't realize he had so many hits. I'm surprised this was a one-hit wonder for him because he had a lot of hits, and still to this day, he is an icon god of the trucking music. Here we go, a little 6 days on the road. All right, so that was the 60s. That was a few of the songs from the 60s. We're going to switch over into the 70s now, and of course, 70s brought this next one here. I thought was such a good song. I didn't pay attention that they only had one song, but Looking Glass had a song out called Brandy, which was a super hit in the 70s, and I'm surprised that it didn't get more play, but it's still, it's funny how you can have one hit. It's just a hit forever. I guess that's why. Here's Brandy from Looking Glass. Right there. I was surprised that this next song was a one-hit wonder, and I'm sure you know this one. Oh yeah, a little Wild Cherry for you. My dad used to walk around the house doing this next move. This was such a popular song. Oh, Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas. I love that one. I think of my dad every time I hear that one. I just love playing that. Anyway, we are talking one-hit wonders today. We're going through the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. We're not going to get to them. There are so many on the list. But if you're wondering what is the criteria for a one-hit wonder, because some of these songs, I don't know, I've just been around for a long time, but they've been hits for a long time. So what is the one-hit wonder criteria? Well, first of all, it's got to be in the top 40 or a massive hit that completely overshadows their work. So a pure one-hit wonder is the artist had only one hit single that breaks into a major chart like the Billboard Hot 100 or the UK Singles Chart and never appears on the chart again. Or the overshadow rule, which I think is where a lot of these fall into, where the artist has other charting songs, but this one just kind of they're known for that. It sets them apart all the way. And then, of course, there's the lack of long-term success, which is the ones I think we normally think of when we think of one-hit wonder, where it comes out, it's great, and then we never hear from these people again. Longevity and popularity, a single song remains universally recognized for years, which is what's happening here, or decades later, despite the artist's decline in popularity. This next song, I think, speaks to that, because this next song, especially if you're in the UK, you know this group. And I know of this group since we met the bassist in Barbados for many years, having chats with Terry. But this one here, I think is their signature song. There's people, especially in Canada here, I'll do a DJ event or something and I'll say, hey, have anybody hear this song? I'm surprised of how many people have heard this song. So this, I'm surprised, is on the list for the 70s. Living Next Door to Alex by Smokey is surprising enough because they've got a lot of other hits, but I think this one overshadowed all of them. I got to play this next song just out of respect. This next guy, it's hard to believe because he's been around for a long time, Canadian icon, Ian Thomas. And he had a song called Painted Ladies, which was his one-hit wonder. Now, he had a couple other songs which I really liked. I saw, this is how old I am, because he was hot in the 70s. He played at our high school dance back when I was in grade 10. Oh my gosh. Anyway, here we go. I got to play this one. Here's Painted Ladies for you. Winner, so he's still moving around. He doesn't have as much hair now, though. The last interview I saw of him, he didn't have any hair. Oh, so the 70s were good. You know, I'm going to play one more. I got to play another one here. The 70s had such a big block that I think it was extra cool in the 70s. This one here, I was a big fan of these guys. Thin Lizzy with The Boys Are Back in Town was a fun one for me. A really good song in the 70s, one of my favorites for sure. The 80s, things changed. Rap started back in the 80s. Let's see, and there was a whole lot of one-offs. Things turned more pop. I think the 70s are my favorite because there was a lot of different stuff, but the rock was a big one. Remember this one here? Now, I don't normally play a lot of rap on our show. I'm not going to play much, but I'm just going to play a little taste of this for you. Remember Rapper's Delight? I roller skated to that song a lot in the 70s, that's for sure. Now, the other thing that happened in the 80s is that all the stars started coming out. You know, sometimes you should stay as an actor and not necessarily a musician. There was a number of actors that put out songs. Bruce Willis had songs out, and this guy here, remember this one from Eddie Murphy? I liked him better as a comedian. Yeah, that's probably the problem. I just watched that movie Trading Places the other day. He should stick to comedy for sure. Anyway, he did pretty well with that. I guess that one came out. This next one here is kind of funny. They say that it was partially a hit because it was an unintentional comedy. And I can't remember. I'm trying to remember what was happening on stage. I haven't seen the video in a long time. But in 1982, Men Without Hats had the safety dance. That got us going. Oh, that's right. That's right. We only got 1 hour, so we're going to play 2 songs. We got 2 more songs. These ones really surprised me. Tom Cochrane in 1992 had Life is a Highway, which has been redone by so many groups. I got to play this one since he's Canadian. That's Tom Cochrane. This next one might surprise you as well. This next one was very, very popular in the 80s. I'm sure you remember this one. Oh my gosh.